fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty hi-yo silver. The Lone Ranger.
Word having reached the Lone Ranger that the frontier town of Hoville was squirming in the octopus grasp of a corrupt political boss, the masked man and his faithful Indian companion had immediately set out for the scene. Meanwhile, Hoville's honest element had united in a last-ditch struggle to throw off the yoke of political tyranny.
Looks to me like you're real popular around here, Whisper.
It's time I taught these do-gooders a lesson.
If it's gunplay you're after, you better hire yourself another boy.
Who said anything about gunplay?
You still haven't told me why you sent for me. I'm thinking it's time for you to talk.
I sent for you because you're supposed to be the best safe cracker in the business.
I'm supposed to be? I am.
You'll get your chance to prove it. Come along. There's a safe I want you to look over.
The safe Whisper referred to belonged to the Milliner brothers, Hoville's blacksmiths. Reckless, likable George Milliner had been the spearhead of the move to oust Whisper Dunlap from power. And Pete Milliner had loyally followed wherever his brother led.
We better knock off if we're going to be on time for the victory barbecue.
Oh, right. Now, I can never find that confounded pipe around.
Here it is. Want to run over your speech before we head for the picnic grounds?
Yeah, that's a good idea. First, I'll warm them up with a funny story, huh?
Let's skip that if you don't mind, huh?
Oh, all right. Well, then I get right down to the serious meat of it.
We've got visitors.
I just want you to know what I think of this whole victory barbecue.
Well, I take it you don't plan to be there.
Definitely not.
Well, in that case, I think maybe you should hear what I'm going to have to say. It goes something like this. Fellow citizens of Hoville, I know you're familiar with the tactics of Whisper Dunlap. Last year, when Mayor McConnell retired from office, he maneuvered one of his own puppets into that office. Same thing when old Judge Moore retired from the bench. Same thing when, well, let's face the facts. Same thing right on down the line. Whisper doesn't hold a single political office, yet he controls this town as if he had it on a leash. Well, how do you like it so far, Whisper?
I don't.
Oh, it gets better as it goes along. Now, according to the laws of this territory, next Friday is the last day for filing petitions to hold special elections. Well, it's taken me a couple of months, but I finally got all the signatures necessary to make that petition legal. That petition will leave for the territory capital on this afternoon's mail stage. Well, that's the end of the speech. Aren't you going to applaud?
Not yet. There are a couple of precincts that haven't been heard from. Come along, Noonan.
Who is that guy with Whisper?
Oh, I don't know. Now, stop worrying. There's nothing they can do now.
I'm not so sure. They must have had some reason for coming in here.
What would you do if you didn't have something to fret about, huh?
Did you get a chance to look the safe over?
Mm-hmm.
That's where they keep the petition.
Oh, the safe will be a tough nut, but I can crack it.
You'd better.
No petition, no special election, eh?
Yep.
And by the time the regular election rolls around, you'll have set up a political machine that nobody can beat.
The Milliner brothers will be leaving for the barbecue any minute now. And they should be gone, anyway, an hour. Does that give you enough time?
I keep telling you, Whisper, I'm the best in the business. Like I said, the best in the business.
Here's the petition.
Why not?
I want time to study this. A lot of people have signed it, and I owe every one of them a bad turn.
What I like about you, Whisper, you're so sweet-natured and forgiving.
Nobody heard anything. Everybody in town's at the barbecue.
There was no need to kill him.
People around here will think twice before they try to buck me again.
I told you I'd have no part of murder.
You're not bucking me, are you, Noonan?
No, I'm not bucking you, Whisper. But I'm clearing out of here right now.
Only one thing.
What's that?
You're clearing out with a lot of inside information.
That can't be helped.
Can't be helped.
Meanwhile, after days of hard riding, the Lone Ranger and Tonto had finally neared their destination.
Look, Tonto, over there.
Man dead, Kemo Sabe?
Either that or badly hurt. Come on, Silver.
He's still alive, Tonto, but he has a nasty wound.
Yes. Whisper Dunlap.
Whisper Dunlap is the name of the political boss I plan to investigate. You think him shoot this man? It's not unlikely from what I've heard of him.
Oh, no need. Kill George Milner. No need.
The investigation will have to wait. Right now, we have some doctoring to do.
For 3 days and 3 nights, the Lone Ranger and Tonto doctored the wounded safecracker. And all the while they worked over him, the patient babbled in a delirium. Disjointed phrases which in themselves meant nothing. But when pieced together like a jigsaw puzzle, the picture became clear.
He's going to be all right now, Tonto. The crisis is past, but it would be dangerous to move him while he's still unconscious. You'd better stay here and watch over him. And where you go, Kemo Sabe? I'm going into Hoville. It's important that I talk to the murdered man's brother.
Knowing that his mask would attract unwelcome attention, the Lone Ranger kept off the main streets of the town and entered the blacksmith shop through a rear door. The passing days had not lessened Pete Milliner's grief over his brother's death.
Howdy, Milliner.
What do you want, Whisper?
Lud Wilkins here wants to express the official sympathy of the town over the death of your brother. Isn't that so, Lud?
Yes, that's right, Whisper. Official sympathy.
Well, tell him the rest, Lud.
You mean that it was decided that George Milner's death was at the hands of a person or persons unknown? Well, as mayor of Hoville, I naturally conducted a personal inquiry, and...
I know who killed my brother.
Oh, you do?
You did.
Well, it's a very serious charge, young man. A very serious charge indeed. Why, Whisper Dunlap was a pillar of the community.
Do you have any proof that I killed your brother?
Even if I did, what good would it do me? There'd be no justice with your trained rabbits filling every key job in town.
Trained rabbit, am I? I'll have you know...
Shut up, you blockhead. Do you intend doing anything about these suspicions?
What's the use of kidding myself? There's nothing I can do. Hoville's last hope for law and order disappeared when the petition was stolen.
Glad you sized up the situation so well. It'll save us both a lot of trouble. Who knows? Someday you might learn to be a trained rabbit yourself.
Who are you?
I've come to help you.
I don't need any outlaw help, mister.
This mask works for the law. I have information that may prove useful.
I'm listening.
I happen to know that right after Whisper Dunlap killed your brother, he shot another man, one of his own gang who had witnessed the murder.
What's one more killing to a person like Whisper? A drop in the bucket.
But the man didn't die. He's been in my camp for the last 3 days, babbling in a delirium. When he recovers, he may be willing to turn state's evidence and convict Whisper of your brother's murder.
You forget Whisper is the law in Hoville.
Well, that might be changed.
Circulate another petition, you mean, huh? So the puppets will be voted out of office. Oh, it's impossible. We don't have enough time.
Your brother wouldn't have said impossible.
No, he wouldn't. He never knew when to give up. If he had, he'd be alive today.
Perhaps he felt that the right to vote was worth dying for.
You think I'm a coward because I'm not like my brother?
I didn't say that.
My brother George never married. He never left behind any responsibilities when he was killed. With me, it's different. I'm a family man. What would happen to my kids if I stopped one of Whisper Dunlap's bullets?
It's because of your children that you ought to pick up where he left off.
Maybe I better call one of the deputies.
Leave him alone. Just a couple of my boys having a little fun.
You want your youngsters to grow up in that kind of atmosphere?
No, of course not.
It's not only your youngsters I'm thinking of. This is a frontier town. If the people of Hoville give up their right to vote, then the flow of freedom into the expanding West would be blocked right here. Well?
You're a mighty persuasive talker, mister. What's your next move?
We have until tomorrow night to circulate the new petition and get it to the territory capital.
Why, it took my brother nearly 2 months to collect the required number of signatures. I don't know how I can do it overnight.
Round up every man you can trust. Give each one of them a copy of the petition. 5 of them should be able to cover the town. Have the rest ride out to the surrounding ranches.
Hey, it might work at that.
Do you think you can convince 20 of your friends that the right to vote is worth taking a risk for?
I'll have no trouble. I know what to say now.
The fever's almost gone, Tonto.
Him wake up soon. Rider come this way, Kemo Sabe.
It's Pete Milliner. I told him where we were camped.
Him come plenty fast. Maybe him worried.
He must have had trouble collecting signatures for the new petition.
It's no use. My friends and I have been riding all night. We haven't been able to collect near the signatures we needed.
You mean the voters have been intimidated by your brother's murder?
It's even worse than that. The cattle drive started a couple days ago. The ranchers and their cowhands are headed for the beef market.
Well, aren't there enough people left in the area to make the petition legal?
No, we're licked.
Not necessarily. Come over here. There's the man who opened the safe in the blacksmith shop. In his delirium, he mentioned that Whisper didn't destroy the old petition.
No, why not?
He plans to revenge himself on the signers.
So if we recover it, there's still time to get it to the capital. But what chance would we have in finding out where Whisper keeps it?
He also babbled something about a shack, a sort of hideout shack that Whisper has in the hills.
You think Whisper Dunlap keep petition and shack, Kemo Sabe?
That's what I gathered from what Noonan said.
This part of country have many hills. Be hard to find shack.
True, Tonto, but I have a plan which may persuade one of the gang to lead us to it.
Me go with you.
No, Tonto, you better stay here and look after him.
Me do.
Hurry, Pete. We haven't much time.
Time for what? What are we going to do?
I'll tell you on the way into Hoville.
I only hope you know what you're doing, mister.
As they rode, the Lone Ranger questioned his companion closely about Whisper Dunlap's personal life. He learned that the political boss lived alone, that he was in the habit of rising late, that his official days usually started with a visit from Mayor Wilkins.
That fool Wilkins is early again. How many times do I have to tell you, Wilkins, that this is... What's the meaning of this, Milliner? Who is this man?
A friend of mine. He wants some information.
He'll get none out of me.
You never can tell, Whisper. Any sign of Mayor Wilkins yet?
Here comes his buggy now.
Good. Take Whisper to the other room. See that he doesn't make any noise.
He'll be quiet.
Who is it?
It's me, Whisper, Lud Wilkins. May I come in?
No. I want you to go to the shack right away.
Shack? But why?
I'll meet you there as soon as possible and give you further orders.
Well, I don't understand this.
You're not supposed to understand. Just do as you're told.
Well, all right, Whisper. Whatever you say.
All right, Whisper. You can come out now.
You fooled him completely, mister.
Yes, he fell for a very old trick. You better tie him up. I'll follow the mayor to the shack. You stay here and guard Whisper.
Say, mister, I'm not much good at saying thanks, but I want you to know I'll always remember what you're doing for all of us.
I'll always remember everything, too.
Sit down, Whisper.
Following Mayor Wilkins without being seen proved to be slow work for the Lone Ranger. Meanwhile, Whisper Dunlap had not yet resigned himself to defeat.
All right, if I stretch my legs.
Sure, go ahead. What are you doing?
The ropes are too tight.
Turn around.
Knowing that the whole future of his political organization depended on the events of the next hour, Whisper veered off the buckboard trail and as the crow flies, headed for the hideout shack.
Oh, thanks, Indian. How'd I get here?
Me and friend find you, bring you here, fix your head.
My head? Oh, yeah. Now I remember. That'll teach me never to turn my back on a rattlesnake. Is this your friend coming?
Whisper Dunlap tricked me and got away. Your friend's riding into a trap at the hideout shack.
Kemo Sabe must be warned.
We can't warn him. We don't know where the shack is.
Maybe this man help us.
Yeah.
My friend saved your life. Now you save his.
How?
You a member of a gang. You know where shack is. Take us there.
Well, I can't do that. Which side of the law is your friend on?
What's the difference? His life's in danger.
I never did a favor to a low man in my life. I'm not going to start now.
My friend wear a mask.
Mask? Outlaw, eh? Well, what are we waiting for? Help me on my horse.
Hope he hasn't reached the shack yet.
What's wrong? I only did what you told me.
It wasn't me who ordered you out here.
Well, I heard you with my own ears. You said for me to go to the shack. Why, with my own ears.
There was somebody else who imitated me.
Who?
A masked busybody who followed you out here. Keep away from that window. I want him to think his plan is working perfectly.
Well, if somebody was following me, he'd be coming through that door any minute now.
That's right. And we'll be waiting.
Quiet now, boy.
Here he comes.
When he sees your horse, he'll know something's gone wrong.
Did you see it when you drove up?
Well, no. Come to think of it,
I hit a horse in a clump of trees. It's lucky someone has some brains around here. The fool animal is whinnying.
Stay here, boy. Oh, no, stay here.
He's coming this way again.
He probably thinks it's my horse acting up.
When he gets close enough, he'll rush the door. You ready?
Yes. But, Whisper, I don't like
Shut up
this.
and watch the door.
I know, but Whisper, we can get in a lot of trouble over
What
this
kind
thing.
of trouble can we get into that I can't get us out of?
Having heard a strange horse's whinny nearby, the Lone Ranger anticipated an ambush and decided to enter the shack through the rear door.
Kick your guns over by the wall. Where's the petition, Whisper?
It's over there in the safe.
What's the combination?
Well, now, I don't think I'll tell you that.
Mayor Wilkins?
Well, I'd like to help you out, stranger, but Whisper's the only one who knows the combination. Otherwise, I'd be glad to tell you.
Of course, you could dynamite the safe open, but the petition might be destroyed in the explosion.
Perhaps there's another way, Whisper. Come in, men. Get those guns on the floor, Pete.
Noonan!
Yes.
Noonan, the next time you try to kill me, you better take better aim. Only there's not going to be a next time.
I never thought I'd see the day you'd be working with the law.
The law?
Don't let the mask fool you. He's trying to help the do-gooders reform the town.
Is that true, mister?
That's right, Noonan, and we can't do it without your help.
My help?
The petition's in the safe. Whisper won't give me the combination.
You mean you want me, an outlaw, to open it for you?
You said a great many things when you were delirious, Noonan.
Huh?
Things that made me certain that you might be a different sort of man if you'd had the right kind of breaks when you were growing up. Here's a chance to start a new life.
I don't know. I'd like to think it over.
There isn't much time.
You haven't any time.
You made up your mind yet, Noonan?
Open up in the name of the law.
Recovery of the petition meant the return of law and order to Hoville, and Ray Noonan submitted to voluntary arrest.
When your trial comes up, Noonan, I'll do everything I can to see that you receive leniency.
Thanks.
We'll never forget what you've done for us, Noonan.
I never thought I'd get a handshake for opening a safe.
You've done this town a great service. And as for you, mister, where'd he go?
He's not one for sticking around after a job's finished.
Who is he?
Ask Whisker Dunlap. I bet he knows. Don't you, Whisper?
Yes, I know.
Well, then, who is he?
That you blockhead is the Lone Ranger.
Hi-yo!